Hi, I'm Amy. This is a gentle full body yoga practice focused on body acceptance and moving without pressure. It's for you if you feel a bit stiff, a bit inflexible, or if you feel like your body has changed and you just want a kinder way to move. We'll move really slowly, explore simple poses with plenty of options. You can rest or modify at any point during the practice. So let's begin in a comfortable seat, either cross-legged. You can come to your knees, or if you want to prop yourself up on a pillow or a cushion, you can do so. And then when you're ready and you're settled, let's come to stillness. So sitting up nice and tall, closing down your eyes, or you can just soften your gaze if that feels better for you today. Reach the crown of your head up towards the sky, lengthening up through your spine. And we're just going to take a few moments just to land. So you don't need to do anything. You don't need to change your breath. Just bring your attention to the air coming in and out. Especially if any thoughts start to pop up. Just allow them to come without judgment. And then just bring your attention back to that sensation of air coming in and out. Start to deepen your breath, taking a deep inhale through your nose, and then sigh it out through your mouth. And again, deep breath in, and sigh it out. Good. When you're ready, opening your eyes. And let's start to take some gentle movement. So just slowly, lifting your gaze up towards the ceiling, but just take it as far like where the wall is meeting the ceiling. So we're not crunching our neck all the way back. So just have a look at where the wall meets the ceiling in the space that you're in. And then gently lower your chin towards your chest. Just feeling that lovely stretch down the back of your neck. Again, slowly moving your head back up, lifting your chin. Not going all the way up, just nice and gentle. And then back down. Good, one more. And back down, coming back down to centre. Good, and then take a gentle movement to look towards the right, looking over your right shoulder. And then back through centre, and then over to your left. Back to centre, over to your right. Back to centre, and then over to your left. I think if you spend a lot of time sitting, these gentle movements can just help ease any stiffness or tension. Again, they're not massive exaggerated movements, but they help. Back to centre. Let's lift your shoulders up towards your ears and then roll them down your back. So just do some shoulder rolls up towards your ears and then melt them down your back. Really seeing if you can bring your shoulder blades together as they come down. Good, and then the other way, so lifting them up and then bring them forwards. Good, and then giving them a good shake out. Again, this just releases any tension. We're all sitting like this at our desks, computers, on our phones, and our posture really suffers. So just these small, subtle movements, just a bit of self-care, self-love, bit of movement can just help ease everything out. So bringing your hands to your knees now. As you breathe in, you're going to arch your back, lift your chest and your chin up towards the sky, coming into a seated cow pose. And then as you breathe out, you're going to round your spine, bringing your chin towards your chest. Seated cat. Inhale. Arching your back, shining your chest and your chin up towards the sky. And then exhaling round to cat. Really arching your back, feeling that opening on the back of your upper back. So just move through these now with your own breath, your own rhythm. Inhaling for cow pose. Exhaling for cat. Good, one more round. Coming back to centre, sitting up nice and tall once more. Bring your right hand on the ground next to your right hip. Inhale, lift your left arm up. And then as you exhale, we're going to lean over towards the right. So keep this left sitting bone grounded on the ground and keep your chest lifted up towards the sky. Keep your heart lifted. And you'll feel this lovely stretch down the left hand side. So breathe into your ribs on that side, breathing in. And then exhaling it out. Good. Coming back up slowly, coming to the other side. So left hand down, right arm up on an inhale. Exhale, lean over towards the left. Again, as you lean, you'll feel like your right sitting bone coming up. So really ground back down. It might mean you can't quite come as far over, but that's okay. Again, turning your heart up towards the sky. Breathing into the right side of your body. Exhaling out. Good. Slowly coming back up to center. Bring your left hand to your right knee. Place your right hand on the ground. Inhale, push into this right hand, lengthen up. As you exhale, just twist to the right. Nice and gently. This is not a deep twist. Nothing forced. Don't allow your head to come past your right hip. Breathe in. Exhale out. Good. Slowly release, coming back to center. Other side. So right hand, left knee, left hand on the ground. Inhale, push into your left hand to lengthen. And then exhale, rotate to the left. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Slowly, slowly release, coming back to center. And then you're going to roll over your legs and come to a tabletop position. So all fours. Wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips, knees about hip distance apart. We're just going to take a moment to set ourselves up. So nice neutral spine, just pull your belly button in just a fraction. Gaze down so your neck is nice and long. Good. We're going to move through some cat-cows now in tabletop position. So breathing in, dropping your belly, lifting your chest and your chin, and then exhaling, coming to cat. Inhaling for cow, exhaling for cat. So in cat, you're really pushing the ground away from you, feeling that stretch along your upper back, pulling your belly button in. And then as you breathe in, feeling that stretch across the front of your chest. A few more goes now in your own time, in your own rhythm. Finish the round that you're on. Good, then coming back to a neutral spine in tabletop. And then there's a few options here. You can raise your right arm up, stretching your fingertips towards the top of the mat. Again, thinking about pulling your belly button in, keeping the gaze down to lengthen the neck. Stay here and take a few breaths. If this is a little bit too much because you've got all the weight onto your left hand, bring both hands down and you're just going to raise your right knee up off the ground. And then if you've got the space and the balance, you can raise your right leg up and back. Coming into a half balancing table. So keeping your hips level. Just take a few breaths. Breathing in. And then on your exhale, either release your leg or your arm, coming back to tabletop. And then we'll do the other side. So if you raised your arm up, so raise your left arm up, reaching your fingertips forward. And then if you would rather raise your leg, you're going to raise your left leg up and back. Keep your toes pointing down. Keep that belly button pulled in, gaze down, regardless of whether you've got your leg or your arm lifted. But keep reaching your heel back if your leg is lifted. And then keep reaching your fingertips up forwards if you've got your arm lifted. Good. Take a deep breath in. And out. Good. One more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, release your leg or your arm back to tabletop. And then bring your big toes to touch. Spread your knees as wide as the yoga mat and then let your hips sink back. Let your hips sink back towards your heels. And then bring your hands in front of you. Make a little pillow and just rest your head on your pillow as we come into child's pose. And we're just going to stay here and rest for 3 breaths. Slowly, slowly bring yourself back up to a tabletop position. So taking your time here. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And then when you're ready, we're going to tuck our toes and lift our hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. So we're not going to spend too much time here, but just take some gentle movements. So lowering one knee towards the ground and the other. Taking some hip swings, moving any way that you feel is good. Downward facing dog is a spine stretch, not a hamstring stretch. So if your legs are not straight, if you need to take a bend in your knee or your feet aren't flat on the ground, that's absolutely okay. And then when you're ready, let's just come to stillness for a moment. So drawing your belly towards your thighs, spreading your fingertips wide on the mat. And just imagine that you're pulling your lower ribs in. Let's take a round of breath here in downward facing dog. Good, breathing in. And then on your exhale, we're going to walk our hands to the top of the mat. So you can do this however you want to. So if you want to tiptoe, take little steps. If you want to take big steps, if you've got it in you, you can hop to the top. So we're in a forward fold at the top of our mat, feet between our hands. Again, bending your knees if you need to, allowing your head to be heavy. Good. And then it's really important here that you keep a slight bend in your knee as you sweep your arms out and up on an inhale, coming all the way up to stand. Bring your palms to touch above your head. And then as you exhale, releasing your arms down by your sides. Good. Let's just take a moment here in mountain. Mountain can seem like a super easy pose, but actually it can just bring a little bit of awareness to your posture. We don't think a lot about how we stand. Life is very busy and sometimes we can't always be mindful of our posture. We just don't have the time for it or the brain capacity. So just take this opportunity to check in with how you're standing. Feet hip distance apart, and really ground down through all four corners of your feet. Feeling the mat, the earth underneath your toes. And then most importantly, think about keeping your head over your heart, over your chest, and then your chest over your pelvis. And then thinking about shortening this gap between your ribs and your hips. We quite often flare our ribs out. Just see if you can pull them in, lengthening up through your crown. Palms facing forward. Shoulders melting down your back. Closing your eyes here or keeping your gaze soft. Let's just take a few deep breaths. Just enjoying this moment of stillness. Lovely. Inhale now, either keeping your eyes open or you can start again. You can keep your eyes closed, or if you want to open them, you can. Inhale, raise your left arm up to the sky. And then we're going to just gently go over to the right, just like we was doing when we were seated, but we're going to just do it standing this time. But the same principles apply. So ground down through both feet. Try not to bring too much weight into that right foot. And then keep your chest lifted. Good. And you'll feel this lovely stretch down the left-hand side. Breathing in. And out. Good. Slowly, slowly coming back upright. Inhale, right arm up. And then exhale over to the left. Taking a breath. Slowly coming back upright, releasing your right arm down by your side. Good. Deep breath in, swing your arms out and up, really reaching through your fingertips, taking up space, breathing in. And then on your exhale, you're going to hinge forward from your hips, sweeping your arms back down, coming to a forward fold. Breathing in, you're going to come up halfway, so bring your palms to your shins or your thighs, flatten your back, halfway lift. And then exhale back to a forward fold. Good. Inhale, coming all the way back up to mountain, swinging your arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, arms back down. Good. Breathing in. Arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold once more. Inhale to halfway lift, shoulders down your back, gaze facing down. Exhale to fold. Good. This time placing your hands on the mat, and then you're going to step both feet back, coming back into a tabletop position. And then bring your hips back towards your heels, so you're kneeling. And then you're going to swing your legs out from underneath you, and we're going to come to lay on your back. Keeping your knees bent, feet on the ground. Good. And then bring your knees in for a little hug. So pulling your knees in towards your chest, wrapping your arms around your shins. And then if you need to take some gentle movement, because that's sort of what you feel like you need to do, you can. So it feels lovely to gently rock from left to right. This feels good on your lower back. Then releasing your feet to the ground. And then just shift your hips over to the right, letting your knees fall to the left. If they don't quite reach, don't worry. You can always just shift your hips even more over to the right just to give yourself a bit more space. And then there's a couple of options here. You can keep your hands on your body and either close your eyes or soften your gaze, and your head can be facing up. Option 2 is to bring your arms out at shoulder height in a T shape and turn your gaze to look towards the right. Again, gaze soft or closing down your eyes. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths into your belly, breathing up the length of your spine here in supine twist. Lovely. If you've got your head turned to the right, slowly bring it back to center. And then bring your knees back to center. Just square off your hips, just so you're level again. And then we're going to go the other way. So shifting your hips over towards the left, letting your knees fall to the right. Option 1, keep your head where it is with your hands on your body. Or if you've got your arms out in a T shape, turn your head to the left. Whichever option feels most comfortable for you today. 3 more deep breaths this side in supine twist, giving your spine a lovely stretch out. Bringing your gaze back to center if your head was turned, followed by your knees. Pull your knees in for another hug. And then let your legs go long on the mat. So take up some space here. You can bring your legs as wide as the yoga mat if that feels good, letting your toes fall out to the side. Arms alongside your body, palms facing up. And you're going to allow all the muscles in your body to relax. Just noticing anywhere that's still holding on, anywhere that's still gripping, any tension. Keeping your eyes closed now as we finish the practice in Shavasana. Start to take some gentle movement by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Taking a deep breath in, raising your arms above your head, pointing your toes, bringing your feet back together. Big full body stretch. And then as you breathe out, bringing your knees into your chest, giving yourself one final big hug. And gently roll onto your side. And then using your hands and taking your time, push yourself back up to a seated position. Wonderful. So sit up nice and tall. Crown of your head reaching up, just allowing your hands to rest wherever they land. Eyes closed. Just taking a moment to see how you feel now that you've taken a little bit of gentle movement, giving your body a little bit of love and attention. Let's finish the practice with a round of breath together. So breathing in through your nose and then exhaling it out. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart and bowing your head. Thank you so much for taking the time for yourself today, to look after yourself, to give yourself a little bit of time. Thank you for coming to practice with me, and I hope to see you again on your mats very soon. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming to practice with me today. If you enjoyed this gentle practice, be sure to subscribe to Chamber Yoga, where I release 2 gentle yoga practices a week, nice and short, easy to fit into your day, as well as a really lovely guided meditation that's only 5 minutes long, which you can fit in any time if you can, just if you're feeling a bit stressed. These are great just to help you unwind and relax. I also have a wonderful newsletter that is free that I do every week, that I send out, that just gives you some tips of how you can integrate this lovely yoga practice into your daily lives.